We're here outside the Supreme Court where they just announced the decision in Rahimi versus United States, a landmark Second Amendment case which found that those subject to domestic violence restraining orders can be disarmed. Now, this comes just 2 years after the case New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus Bruen. And the significance in that case is that it gave the direction that gun regulations, whenever courts are making determinations about them, should look to the nation's history and tradition in order to determine their constitutionality. But the interesting thing about this case is that it does not do anything necessarily to weaken Bruen, but rather it affirms some of the language that was written in Justice Clarence Thomas's majority opinion. Now, this is a Chief Justice Roberts opinion, and the rest of the courts joined him except for Thomas. This is significant because the court is still trying to uphold Second Amendment rights at every end, but they must contend that there are some areas where there can be gun regulations. In this case, this was a domestic violence offender who was under a civil domestic violence restraining order. He also had a past history of gun violence and was charged with several instances of shootings. So the point here today is that the Supreme Court is willing to uphold some federal gun statutes, and it will be very significant for cases going forward, particularly one with the president's son, Hunter Biden, as he was just found guilty by a jury earlier this month for 3 violations of federal gun statutes. So it'll be very interesting to see where the younger Biden's case goes after this, and to see future Supreme Court cases that involve firearms. I'm Kalen Deese for the Washington Examiner.